Hi everyone. Now we are going to discuss about sauerkraut, which is one of the type of fermented vegetables. Sauerkraut is one of the most common forms of preserved cabbage in the 4th century BC. That was originating in the 4th century BC. The word sauerkraut or German terms for sour cabbage, and it is most frequently eaten in Germany. Along with the Germany, it is also going to be consumed in other European and Asian countries and even the US. The sauerkraut is a product of natural lactic acid fermentation of fresh cabbage in the presence of a small amount of salt involving the lactic acid bacteria, Leuconostoc mesenteroids, and Lactobacillus plantarum. So these are the microorganisms which are involved in the fermentation of this sauerkraut. So here are the three species, that is Leuconostoc species, Lactobacillus species, and Pediococcus species, which are majorly involved in the sauerkraut fermentation, which are able to produce the acid and gas in the sauerkraut fermentation product. Then coming to the nutritional value of sauerkraut, taking off about 100 kgs or zero point 0.3 ounce. So you are going to have these values in it. The sauerkraut is going to be rich in vitamin C and also has a mild laxative action, that is because of a dextrin content of the product. And energy you're going to get is about 78 kilojoules. Carbohydrate is 4.3 grams. Sugar is 1.8. Dietary fiber is 2.9. Fat is 0.14 grams. Water is about 92%. And vitamin B is 0.13. Vitamin C is 15 mg, which is very rich. And iron is 1.5. And sodium is 6.61 mg. So these are some of the nutritional values of sauerkraut that it possesses, and we'll see all these health benefits in the last of this topic. Then coming to the process and fermentation. So here if you see, we are supposed to have a fresh cabbage which is clean, shredded, and then bruised by tamping, and is packed about with of about 2 to 3% of the salt in jars or the barrels. So you can take that in a jars or in the barrels. And after that you're supposed to put wooden frames. So here you are able to see the wooden frames are placed on the cabbage to create the pressure. The combined action of the salt and the pressure draws a considerable proportion of juice from the cells of the leaves. Now the cells of the leaf respire for a time, rapidly utilizing any oxygen present and create anaerobic condition. Now once the anaerobic conditions are attaining, obviously the microorganisms comes into the play of Leuconostoc mesenteroids. Then we are having the lactobacilli, that is Lactobacillus plantarum, then start multiplying and continue the fermentation to the final stage, increasing the acidity to as much as 2.4 lactic acid, that is 2.4% of lactic acid. Now along with this lactic acid, esters, diacetyl also give some sort of pleasant aroma and flavors. And this whole fermentation process requires about 3 to 4 weeks at 21 to 29 degrees centigrade. So once the fermentation is completed, they are going to be pasteurized and then packing and then finally transportation. And when it reaches to us, we are going to serve it and eat it. Okay, so this is the whole process of sauerkraut fermentation. Let's see the fermentation process in detail now. So first of all, the salting. So what is this salting? Why it is having a very importance in this fermentation process? The level of salting is important to obtain a satisfactory product, because if it is too less or it is too more also, you are not going to get the desirable product. For that reason, the exact quantity of the salt, addition of the salt is very much necessary. So here the salt is going to serve as a one which is going to extract the moisture from the shredded cabbage by osmosis to form the brine in which the fermentation will take place. So you are not supposed to add the brine solution to the uh, process of sauerkraut, because we should not add it. It will become so smoothy or it will get spoiled. So directly we are using the dry salt in the fermentation of sauerkraut. So here we are supposed to add the dry salt, which is going to extract the moisture content from the shredded cabbage by a process called as osmosis, and that's how it is forming the brine in which the fermentation will take place. And this salting also helps to inhibit some of the natural flora of the cabbage, such as Pseudomonas, which would otherwise cause spoilage, and also helps to select for the lactic acid bacteria. One, it is inhibiting the Pseudomonas. At the same time, this salt is also helping to select the lactic acid bacteria, which is essential for the fermentation process. Now, this also, that means the salt also helps in maintaining the crispy nature of the cabbage by withdrawing the water and inhibiting the endogenous pectolytic enzyme which cause the product to soften. If it is getting softened, it indicates it's a spoilage one. So for that reason, it should be in the crispy nature. So salt maintains the texture. And finally, salt contributes to the flavor of the product. So these are the some of the uh, things that are going to be served because of the presence of this salt or addition of this salt. Then coming to the fermentation process, the starter for sauerkraut production is usually the normal mixed flora of cabbage. So what are the normal mixed flora of the cabbage? So the raw material, that is the raw material of the cabbage, has a large number of undesirable organisms and a small population of lactobacilli, even less than 1%. Among all the things, the lactobacilli, that is lactic acid bacteria, most are Lactococcus species, Leuconostoc species, and a small fraction is Lactobacillus species and Pediococcus species. So these, during the fermentation, these are going to sequential growth of these lactic acid bacteria is going to occur. The presence of 2.25%, that is 2 to 3% of the salt, and the large amounts of fermental sugars, that means whatever the fermental sugars like sucrose, hexoses, pentoses, those are present, and an absence of oxygen. There will be no oxygen because initially it is going to withdraw all the oxygen by the leaves, and a low fermentation temperature facilitate the Leuconostoc species. So the first organism that is going to be accelerated is the Leuconostoc species, and primarily Leuconostoc mesenteroids to grow rapidly. So that is the one which grow rapidly. When the acidity is going to reach approximately 1%, now the growth of Leuconostoc mesenteroids are getting slowed down. So here the Leuconostoc mesenteroid is the one which is going to accelerate the fermentation process, and once the acidic content is going to reach 1%, slowly its growth is going to slow down. Then the Lactobacillus brevis starts growing rapidly until acid production reaches 1.5%. So second bacteria is Lactobacillus brevis, which will start up the fermentation process, and it is going to produce 1.5% of the acidic conditions, and it reaches its maximum growth. And then the Pediococcus pentaces takes over and increases the acidity to 1.8%. So the third one. And finally, Lactobacillus plantarum starts growing and brings the acid level approximately to 2%. So that's how these all the starter cultures or whatever the microorganisms involved in sauerkraut fermentation are going to play their role at this stage. The first one, Leuconostoc, that coming to the brevis, then Pediococcus, then plantarum. So this is all the microorganisms which are involved in the fermentation process. Then moving to the biochemistry actually occurring by these microorganisms is the Leuconostoc species metabolizes the carbohydrates that are present like sucrose, hexose, and some pentoses in the raw material of cabbage into lactate, acetate, ethanol, carbon dioxide, and diester. Even the esters also, that's the reason why we get a nice aroma. Okay, Lactobacillus brevis, which is an obligatory heterofermentative, and ferments sucrose, hexoses, and pentoses to products similar to those by the Leuconostoc species. And then Pediococcus is going to metabolize the hexoses, that means 6 carbon compound, to form mainly the lactic acid, and some pentoses to lactic acid, acetate, and ethanol. Sorry, here L should be there. The Lactobacillus plantarum also produces the products similar to the Pediococcus pentosus. That is all these things, lactic acid, acetate, and ethanol. And as I told you, the characteristic flavor of sauerkraut is a result of the combined effects of lactate, acetate, ethanol, carbon dioxide, esters, and diacetyl on proper amount. So because of having all these things, and these are all the result of all these microorganisms. So this is all about the biochemistry behind the sauerkraut fermentation. Then moving the spoilage and defects in the sauerkraut process. So, what are the defects and how we can identify the spoilage in the sauerkraut process means the majority of the spoilage in sauerkraut is due to aerobic soil microorganism which break down the protein and produce undesirable flavor and texture changes. Even the soft cod can result from many conditions such as large amounts of air, poor salting procedure, and varying temperature. So these are all going to result the spoilage of this soft cod. Then high temperatures and a reduced salt content favor the growth of lactobacillus. I told you less than 2% or more than 3% also going to have the defect in the sauerkraut process. So the usual concentration of the salt used in sauerkraut production slightly inhibits the lactobacilli but has no effect on the cocci. So that's why Leuconoster cocci are the one which is going to take over the or initiate the process of this sauerkraut fermentation. If the salt content is too low initially, the lactobacilli grow too rapidly at the beginning and the upset the normal sequence of fermentation. And the dark color sauerkraut is produced due to the high microbial contamination, and pink sauerkraut is due to the yeast contamination. So if you see any dark color, it was contaminated. If you see any pink color of the sauerkraut, then also you can identify it as a contaminated with yeast. So these are the few spoilage and defects in the sauerkraut process. Then what are the health benefits of this sauerkraut? So we are having so many health benefits by consuming this sauerkraut. So let's see. As it is a rich source of vitamin B, C, and K, the fermentation process increases the bioavailability of nutrients, rendering sauerkraut even more nutritious than the original cabbage. So once you are having higher nutritious and having more vitamins, so obviously it is going to boost your immune system. And then it reduces the risk of heart diseases, aids in energy production in the body. So as it is a high rich in carbohydrate, so obviously it is aids in energy production and helps in maintaining the health heart and prevents gastric ulcers and colon cancer. Slow down the appearance of the wrinkles and the age spot because of having the more vitamins. You are going to have the slow down appearance of wrinkles and age spots. It is a very good source of dietary fiber, folate, that I told you, vitamin B, iron, potassium, copper, and manganese. And that's how helps to regulate the digestive and excretory system. It is also low in calories and high in calcium and magnesium. So because of this, it is going to reduce pain and discomfort of joints and muscles as it is rich in calcium and magnesium. And it is also because of these things, it is also going to beneficial in building strong bones and prevents osteoporosis and reduce risk of muscular degeneration and development of cataracts. Okay, so these are the few health benefits of sauerkraut. Then coming to the side effects, sauerkraut, as it is high in sodium content, that may be causing of some sort of blood pressure fluctuations in some people if they are going to consume more, and it is risky to the cardiovascular and renal disease suffering people. So better to consult doctor before consuming this sauerkraut. So this is all about the sauerkraut. Thank you.